Today, where Fox's Brooke Singman reports he's expected to plead not guilty.
He's now facing 3 separate charges. Now, that's one for lying on the gun application, one for lying to the gun store clerk, and one for actually possessing the firearm while using illegal drugs.
Well, that after a misdemeanor tax evasion plea deal for the president's son fell apart, it would have wiped out a gun charge. Former President Trump will return to a New York court for day 2 of a civil fraud trial that he calls part of a witch hunt and corrupt election interference. His attorney, Alina Habba, just told Fox.
President Trump and the Trump family will not able to conduct business in New York. Will have to be dissolved in the state of New York. For doing what? I don't know.
The judge has already ruled the Trump organization committed fraud, inflating the value of assets. The state's Democratic Attorney General is pushing for a $250 million fine. There's an attempt to oust House Speaker Kevin McCarthy by a small group of his fellow Republicans. Congressman Tim Burchett just told Fox Business.
Kevin's my friend. I just think we need to get our ship in order, and it is not right now.
They're upset McCarthy worked with Democrats, averting a government shutdown with a short-term funding bill without spending cuts conservatives demand. McCarthy predicts they'll fail and he will remain Speaker. A crime near the Capitol. Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar was carjacked and robbed at gunpoint in Washington last night. He was not injured. Police are looking for 3 suspects. The day after a missing 9-year-old girl was rescued from a kidnapper near Albany, New York. A family friend tells Fox Charlotte Senna is doing
very well, very well. Of course, the family's thrilled to have her back, but by all accounts, she's doing just fine.
Police found the girl in a cabinet inside a camper after tracking the suspected kidnapper, who they say put a ransom note in the family's mailbox. Nobody won the Powerball again? The jackpot grows to $1.2 billion. America's listening to Fox News.
Democrats just want to win the next election, and they're trying to do it with ceaseless money printing. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon. It is critical to protect your retirement right now with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. There's nothing to buy and no obligation at all. Text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower for steamy Vicks Vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower use for adults only.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy isn't the only one fending off a challenge to his job. Republicans are also trying to kick Democratic Congressman Jamal Bowman out of the House for pulling a fire alarm Saturday. They say it's a felony to obstruct government proceedings.
The fire alarm went off while the House was trying to vote on a spending bill to avoid a government shutdown. Bowman has said it was an accident. He was trying to go vote and was having issues with the door.
I take responsibility for what I did, but like I said, I was in a rush to go vote.
An expulsion needs 2/3 majority of Congress, making it difficult to actually remove Bowman. Capitol Police are still investigating. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
It's a great day for 3 scientists sharing the Nobel Prize for Physics. One of them works at Ohio State University.
US-based Pierre Agostini is one of a trio who the Nobel Prize Committee says have given humanity new tools for exploring the world of electrons. He's sharing the $1 million prize with Ferenc Krauss, who works in Germany, and Anne Lhuillier, who's based in Sweden. They found a way to produce pulses of light so short they can be measured in quintillionths of a second, capturing previously unseen images of how atoms work. The money comes from a bequest left by Swedish inventor Alfred Nobel, who died in 1896. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could fall. Dow futures are now down more than 100 points before the opening bell. On Monday Night Football, a giant L because of dominant D.
Blitz off the edge. Nwosu couldn't get there, and the ball's out. Picked up by Brooks. Seattle's ball.
That was one of 11 sacks by the Seahawks defense, which also scored on an interception return for a touchdown and a 24-3 Seattle win over the New York Giants on ESPN. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A man's been arrested and is facing charges after authorities say he confessed to robbing a Subway restaurant in Savoy last month. 21-year-old Devontae Derrickson, identified as a suspect in the September 22nd robbery, using an automated license plate reader, which led them to Derrickson. He was booked into the Champaign County Jail. Illinois State Police continue to investigate a deadly crash in Effingham County involving a semi. It carried thousands of gallons of ammonia. They say the tanker involved in multiple crash Friday night on Highway 40 near Teotopolis. Thousands of gallons of the toxic chemical spilled. It killed 5. Accident also forced the evacuation of 500. Illinoisans who own assault weapons can now submit an endorsement affidavit online. Residents are required to register their assault weapons under the new ban in Illinois. It includes assault weapons, assault weapon attachments, and 50 caliber rifles and 50 caliber cartridges. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. It's October 3rd. Welcome to Tuesday. I am Stevie Jay. Good to have you alive. Semi-alert at this hour of the morning on your way to work or whatever you're doing today. Good morning, Diane Ducey.
Good morning, Stevie.
Greg Solier, brought to you by Watts Copy Systems. If you need an assessment on your copier, you're paying too much for color printing, whatever it is, call Greg Wolf. Watts Copy System, where service is more than a promise. Meteorologist, the man who studies maps. Greg Solier, my friend, how are you?
I'm well. How's you guys doing?
Yeah, fine, just fine and dandy. Enjoying this beautiful. The evenings are gorgeous with the sky and the stars and the moon and all those things.
Right.
Yeah, that's what you get when you get an October warm spell like this. The humidity is usually nice and low, and so those temperatures come down nicely. Boy, if we were back in June or July, it'd be pretty uncomfortable around, and the air much cleaner and drier and clearer, coming off kind of an erosion and improvement on some of those Canadian forest fires. Remember, those upper-level winds for a time were coming down right in our neck of the woods. No sign of temperatures coming down for the next couple of days. They will do so, and substantially, heading on through the end part of the week with a little nip in the air, a little more typical of almost early November on some of these temperatures over the course of the weekend in particular. So dress accordingly for Friday night football and or Illinois football here. Expectations of warmer, drier weather? You bet. Expected to slowly evolve northwest to southeast for next week and into the following week. This cold snap, not the way the fall season goes with this strong El Nino still into play. 56 drier degrees. Yeah, they get these swings of temperature, the warmth of the day and the coolness of the night this time of the year. 57 at Rantoul, 55 Danville, 59 Bloomington Normal, 88 this afternoon. That's almost 15 above average, probably a 90 just southwest of Champaign County, sun-filled and a slight south wind, increasing clouds to the 60s tonight, partly sunny, breezy, warm for the day tomorrow at 85. We will get into some shower activity tomorrow night and into Thursday with maybe a rumble of thunder, probably quarter-inch type stuff. 66 tomorrow night, 73 on Thursday, a sprinkle or two Friday afternoon, partly sunny, breezy, cooler, 64 there, only in the upper 50s for highs Saturday and Sunday. Nights in the upper 30s to low 40s. Maybe some low cold spots could see a whimper of frost. We'll head back in the 60s early next week. 70s later next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier. Yeah.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Well, he's in the swamp, but he's not of the swamp. He is Terry Schilling, originally from Illinois. He is Executive Director of American Principles Project, GOP strategist. You feel like you need extra shower at night? How's that work, Terry?
I need to shower 2 times a day at least. It's this is a gross town. It's an ugly town, and it's you really gotta be close to your family and stay in prayer. Otherwise, you're going to give up all hope.
Wow. Okay, so Senate will swear in a new senator. They didn't wait very long, did they? And they put in, it looked like a very moderate person, huh?
No, this is Stevie Jay. You know this. She's a radical. Her name's LaFonza Butler. She's lived all over the country, but she really cut her teeth in California as the president of the local Service Employees International Union, which is one of the most left-wing unions out there. But to tell you what type of swamp creature she is, after she was head of the SEIU union, she went to go work for Uber and Airbnb, right? She's a sellout, right? So she's someone that will take a paycheck. Uber is like the arch enemy for all the labor unions, especially the SEIU. They've been wanting to unionize Uber drivers for a while. But this is really emblematic of who these people are. But here's the big takeaway that everyone needs to know about her, the most important thing. She is the president of Emily's List. Now, you might be asking, what's Emily's List? Well, there is no Emily. Emily is an acronym that stands for Early Money is Like Yeast. And it means that if you inject money into campaigns early for candidates, that they're much more likely to succeed. So this is a pro-abortion group. They will not raise money or endorse candidates if they support any limitations, any restrictions whatsoever on abortion. Even if you vote against taxpayer funding of abortion, you're off Emily's List. This is the president of Emily's List, LaFonza Butler, and this is who Gavin Newsom chose. This is a very different America than what I think most Americans want for this country.
She doesn't live in California. How does that work?
So she's been living in Maryland for the past couple of years, ever since she became president of Emily's List. I actually fell for this too, Stevie, she's lived in California for quite some time. But ever since she became president of Emily's List, she moved out to Maryland.
Okay. All right. So we have a new senator from California, and it's essentially more of the far left gaining more power, I guess is the way I would assess this, correct?
I don't know if it's gaining more power, right? I think the radical left has a lot of power all throughout our cultural institutions, academia, corporate America even. But I think really this is just someone that's pushing the left even further left, right? They're basically making it clear that there is no home in the Democratic Party for anyone that's a moderate, and anyone that has a moderate position even on a single issue. This is a radical party now, and we should treat them as such.
Okay, so what is the effect of Robert Kennedy Jr. running as an independent, maybe Joe Manchin being on the no-name candidate? Is this kind of any effect in 24, you think, Terry?
I think it's going to make it fascinating. I think it's going to make it very interesting. I think if I was just to guess, and I'm really bad at guessing, you should see my NFL pregame bets. They're terrible. I'm a terrible handicapper. But I think it'll be interesting. I don't know. RFK probably takes away more votes from Trump just because of how high profile he is against the vaccine. I think Joe Manchin would take more votes away from Democrats. But at the same time, RFK Jr. is a Kennedy. I can't imagine that a lot of people don't go into that polling booth and cast a lot of votes for him as Democrats. We'll see. But it's all interesting, and it's all very American politics.
How can people find Terry Schilling in Washington, D.C.? They ought to send money to support you just because you're out there. That's...
Yeah, I appreciate that, Stevie. It's just AmericanPrinciplesProject.org. You can find out more about us. We're like the NRA, but instead of guns, we do family policy. Or you can go to ProtectKids.us and sign our petition to protect kids against the Joe Biden agenda.
Well, appreciate the fight. Fighting for families. You're such a radical, man. Wow. I appreciate what you're doing out there, Terry. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Stevie.
Terry Schilling on the Tavin's Joint phone line. Off we go to Sports Headlines 7:14.
Seattle beat the New York Giants 24-3, and Devin Witherspoon had a great game. In fact, he took a pick of Daniel Jones back 97 yards for a touchdown.
He had 2 sacks. He just popped some people, and they love him in Seattle. Number 21, the 30 millionaire. Got $30 million.
My sister Linda Ducey living in Seattle and big fan. And,
it also illustrates why we're not very good right now. Devin Witherspoon left. Chase Brown left.
Yeah.
Sidney Brown left.
Yeah.
We lost some people.
We did.
And maybe the secondary made the line better because they were covering receivers, right? Maybe Chase Brown made the offensive line look better because he was so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was great. Devin Witherspoon, great game last night on Monday Night Football.
We've got Nebraska, and that's a 7 o'clock game on Friday at Memorial Stadium. In fact, if you're thinking I'd really love to go or take a couple of members of my family, text in Illini, 217-359-2255 on our Tapman's Towing phone line. You might be enjoying the evening of tailgating and then the Illini walk and the band. And, of course, all right, now the Illini are favored 7.5, I believe.
7.5 as of yesterday. I didn't check this morning, but yeah, it's just everybody came into the season so jacked, probably over jacked.
Right.
And now it's like, oh, here we go again.
Yep.
It's the same old.
I know.
Jay Lehman last night, he does every Monday 3 to 4, and the guy just says stuff.
Yeah, it was obviously very.
That's actually our quarterback, Luke Volkmar. He's also on Mondays at 4:05 about the game.
Yeah, it was obviously very disappointing for us as a team. You know, a week that we had high expectations for, and a game that this team had circled on our schedule since we knew when we were going to play these guys, and it was disappointing.
Took blame. I mean, he is such a likable guy. Sure, rooting for him. Jay Lehman on every Monday after 3.
I'm just trying to put it all together now because something's missing. And like you said, Pipes, not a very good team. I think your word was stinks. I have them as a 4-win team right now. I think it's a toss-up between Northwestern. I think they'll be favored against Indiana. I obviously favored against Nebraska. Hard to believe Nebraska's bad. But 4 wins the way they're playing right now. Doesn't mean they can't change and win more games. But from what I've seen so far, they're a 4-win football team.
So we came in, there were 8, 9, 10-win predictions. And, the greatest season is when you don't expect it and it's great. The worst season is when you expect it and you don't. It's the Cardinals. Cardinals supposed to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Got last place.
That's right.
Last place. Wow.
Okay,
anyway, off we go. You go try and beat Nebraska. That's all you can do. Just go play.
Right.
And try not to get too down on the ball club and think, things will get better. It's no fun thinking they won't.
That's right.
So
they've tapped the Maryland game to start at 2:30 on October 14th in College Park, Maryland against the Terrapins.
Be tough.
So just take note of that. We've got baseball and playoff action with the Texas Rangers, Tampa Bay Rays this afternoon, Toronto and the Twins. We have got Arizona and Milwaukee, and Miami and the Phillies.
Now, listen, it's fun to watch just for the energy. When everything's dialed up. Every pitch is important, so that energy is just not as fun when we have the Cubs or Cardinals in there. So
it looks like Jonathan Taylor is going to be back for that game against the Titans with him practicing on Wednesday. He's off the physically unable to perform list.
Okay, let's check your weather. It's Indianapolis.
I know.
It doesn't matter either.
I mean, there are Colts fans in our area.
Sure, but I mean, they're not going to be very good.
Okay.
They're okay. Let's check weather, brought to you by Carl.
And Carl reminds you, they've got an event coming up on Saturday. It's called the Health and Wellness Expo, and it's out at Carl at the Fields between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. You can get more details at carl.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Van Avis, Saturday, and a summer-like day's worth of weather ahead for the day today. Again, high temperatures with a mainly sunny sky to about 88, a bit of a southeast to south wind. Clouds will increase tonight, a mild October night. Low down to 64. Tomorrow, partly sunny, continued warm and increasing south wind, high to about 85 degrees. It'll be an approaching cold front tomorrow night with a couple of showers breaking out, maybe a thunderstorm. Best chances after midnight, low down to 66. And a much cooler Thursday, some occasional shower activity, maybe a rumble of thunder, the high to about 73. Cooler still with a few afternoon sprinkles on Friday, partly sunny at 64. And it's an autumn feel for the upcoming weekend. 58 for the high on Saturday, 59 on Sunday. Sunday to part in the cloudy skies. Nights will be down into the upper 30s to lower 40s. We'll pull back up into the 60s and a dry weather pattern for Monday and Tuesday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
So if you like steak, I'm going to give you some free steak.
Awesome.
On our Stever, first of the month. That is coming up next. Stand by.
Accumulation, preservation, generation. At Busey Bank, these are the principles we use to build meaningful financial partnerships with our clients and their families. With sound advice and vast resources, partner with Busey for a personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Spice maker McCormick shares are losing ground at seeing the impact of inflation and China's disappointing economic recovery. The company's profit in the summer quarter matched forecasts, but its sales were disappointing. McCormick's prices increased, but volume declined. In addition to its spices, McCormick also owns the Frank's Red Hot and French's Mustard brands. Artificial intelligence is coming to your Visa card. Visa's investing $100 million in generative AI startups, hoping to simplify payments and other services. Teeth straightening company Smile Direct Club is looking for a buyer. If it can't find one, the Wall Street Journal says the company may shut down. Smile Direct filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy reorganization on Friday. Demand for its teeth straightening services fell sharply at the start of the pandemic. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola. Invested in you.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
5 inches of rain by tomorrow.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
Yeah, I do got to have a little more Jay Lehman.
All those things add up, and it just was a bad third quarter. And I think for an Illinois fan, on a global perspective, it's like this is why we walk on thin ice all the time.
Yeah.
We don't get excited. We don't get our hopes up. We do. We know we're getting ready for disappointment, right? And that's been so difficult with this team. We've thought that we've got our guy. We're getting our hopes up. It just seems like they're farther away than we thought.
I'm telling you. I mean, it's just, and it's okay. You're at least in a season where the schedule is, we can compete here. There's a lot of games coming up we could win, but we could lose. So it ain't easy out there. It's hard to win. It's just hard to win at the high level.
Yeah.
It's just hard to win. But again, coming off such an amazing, unexpected, successful season.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, for whatever reason, the University of Illinois has had a hard time carrying it forward. It's been going on for a long, long time. It's not like something new. Brett Bielema's probably going, what's going on? Well, just that's kind of how it works here. We have an incredible run in 2001. We go to the Sugar Bowl. Nothing the next year. We go to the Rose Bowl in 2000, 7 or 8. Nothing.
Right.
How does that work?
Feast or famine for
I don't know. So we're all still trying to figure it out, and I think Brett Bielema's the guy. I like him a lot. I think really knows how to, for new coaches. We have a lot of new coaches in positions, and Brett, I think, is a guy that kind of says, you're in charge of this, and that's you take your room and you go do, and he oversees it all.
Mm-hmm.
And he might just need to be more active in some of it. I don't know. But he knows what's going on. I mean, the guy knows everybody's name. I mean, he knows. And again, you want to be a big-time coach and make all the money and have this kind of pressure? Good for you. But you know, it's hard to get there. It's hard to go make $6 million, $8 million, whatever the numbers are. And for coordinators to get $800 million, that's great. It isn't an easy job, and you're never with your family, and that's huge. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. Mike Ditka, the great Mike Ditka. He said, it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. If you know the difference between come here and sick 'em, you can play football. That's what he said. And so to spend 6 a.m., 5 a.m., all the way to 1 a.m., and that's their day, it's like, wow, that's a long day, and you don't see family. It's just what it's turned to. Maybe, deep down the coaches are going, we got to work our butt off to earn this money. I mean, it's a lot of money. Keep in mind, the assistant coach for Lon Kruger in the late 90s was making $60,000 a year. Lou Henson, when he had Ephraim Winters and a really good team 40 years ago, made $54,500 for the year.
Wow. We've come a long way, baby.
Oh, my gosh. And so the new coaches today making a lot of money. God bless them. Good for you. Make as much as you can. I'm all for you.
Mm-hmm.
But the pressure changed. Social media changed it. All these other things.
Oh, yeah.
But it's amazing from the Toledo anticipation. And you won the game on a 4th down pass that kept it going, kind of. Well, we all accept it as, phew, okay, great, let's go get Kansas.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at the Kansas game going, well, we didn't really compete there. What's wrong? Okay, well, Penn State played pretty good. Pretty good game. They won 30-13, but for a while there, third quarter, it was still a pretty good game.
Yep.
And then you go to Purdue, and that happens, and then it reminded us of the Lovey days when they weren't very good games, and you got beat by a lot. Anyway, nobody's more disappointed than the ball club. So
sure.
Hey, you want steak? Long Branch Steakhouse. Love talking to Donnie, Hunter, both kind of on the grill now. Anyway, they know how to do this thing. And if you want to go to Gifford, Illinois,
310 South Main Street, right in the heart of beautiful downtown Gifford.
Sometimes you have to park 50 yards away. I mean, really. So if you want to go there, they're open Wednesday through Saturday from 5 to 9. That's it. And if you want some steak, I suggest a ribeye. I suggest the mashed potatoes and, of course, the mac and cheese. So what
a little smoke kick to the back of that mac and cheese. How does he do that?
He won't tell us.
Right.
He has something called frog dressing. I have no idea what's in it.
Right? But
So
it's not frogs. I think that means French ranch.
Something, but it's
something,
no, it's
whatever.
not frog parts.
Fried pickles.
Come on.
It might be something that you get.
Yeah,
and
the
of course-
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
They got those with some kick and stuff, too. Anyway, what I'm doing is handing out $50 bills. It's a program we call Stever, because when the kids grew up, mostly Christians said, easy, Stever, calm down. And I'd get all fired up about something. So this is kind of a fired up kind of program where I hand out money. And it generally goes over pretty well. And then people back off, say, what? You have some requirements you have to get to. Long Branch Steakhouse here in the next, I generally give you a little more, like 2 weekends, because they're only open once. So you'll have this week and next week to use it. Otherwise, it goes away.
Okay.
Then you push complete on your phone after the transaction, and you get a survey, and then you fill the survey out. That's it. So spend my money promptly, and then fill your survey out, and you'll be in good standing. And if you don't do that, I kind of have to let you go. So there you go. You can register at GoStever.com. GoStever.com. You can also enter the $50 free money Long Branch Steakhouse that way, too. So that's what you got on this October the 3rd. It doesn't feel like October. It feels
I know it.
nice. It's good for the regional golfers because usually in golf in the fall, it can be anything.
And those involved in fall ball, too. I mean, our Illini are 8-0. They've got the Orange and Blue World Series coming up.
That's what's for.
Our softball team also loving this kind of weather.
This is their, kind of like golf.
Yeah.
Get ready for the spring kind of thing. Good. Well, that's awesome. Okay, we'll be right back. Coming up also in the next half hour, we'll talk to Dr. Todd about your doggy and cat and do that too.
Yeah, if you have any concerns, you can text in.
Okay, 217-359-2255. All of our guests up here on the Tapman's Towing phone line. We'll be right back. News, weather, and more on the millennials. We'll talk about these ages so we're learning together.
The best steaks in Central Illinois belong to one institution, and that's the Long Branch Steakhouse in beautiful downtown eclectic Gifford. I'm Jay Lehman. I'm a regular at Long Branch Steakhouse. I take my wife. I take my kids. I love the fried pickles, fried mushrooms, the onion rings, and of course, the steaks. The ribeye is my personal favorite. Open Wednesday through Saturday from 5 to 9. Tell Donnie Jay Lehman sent you. Don't forget the mac and cheese. Open Wednesday through Saturday from 5 to 9 in downtown Gifford.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first or you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com. Law enforcement official of the month is A.J. Martin, University of Illinois Police Department. Any other Eagle Scouts on the department?
So that's a fun fact. I need to get a picture at the next football game. I think we've got 7 or 8 Eagle Scouts.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an awesome foundation for the
That's
University of
very good.
Illinois Police Force.
It is.
What about the phones around campus? That's certainly been a help, right? Blue phones with the little...
So they're growing in assistance because before they were just a phone, but now everyone's got a phone. But now because they have phone lines in them, we can hook up cameras to them. So more and more of those emergency phones you're seeing start turning into, they get taller. They got that little camera on top. That camera has 4 cameras in it. It can show 360 around that phone. So it gets us to be able to spot things better on campus for an investigative tool. There's people that can go back and look at the cameras and find suspects. If we get a call in an area, we can see what's going on real time from an outside bird's eye view for some instances. That really helps out.
A.J. Martin, he's our law enforcement official of the month. We appreciate what he does and everyone in law enforcement does. Thank you so much.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Former President Trump is expected to be back at the defense table for day 2 of his business fraud civil trial in New York City.
This is his company. This is his life.
Trump attorney Alina Habba on Fox and Friends. So far, there's been testimony from a former Trump accountant that his firm just used the numbers provided by the Trump organization. The Nobel Prize in Physics is announced.
US-based Pierre Agostini is one of a trio who the Nobel Prize Committee says have given humanity new tools for exploring the world of electrons. He's sharing the $1 million prize with Ferenc Krauss, who works in Germany, and Anne Lewillier, who's based in Sweden. They found a way to produce pulses of light so short they can be measured in quintillionths of a second, capturing previously unseen images of how atoms work.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at your morning news. A 104-year-old Chicagoan making history after setting a world record for the oldest person to skydive. Dorothy Hoffner set the record landing on the ground at Skydive Chicago Airport in Ottawa. The centenarian was born and raised in Chicago, and this experience wasn't new. She made her first skydive at Skydive Chicago when she was 100. A Texas man going to prison for fentanyl trafficking in Illinois, Raul Morales, sentenced last week to 120 months behind bars. State police stopping him while he was traveling on I-55 in Sangamon County, and a pickup pulling a trailer holding 2 vehicles. During the stop, troopers locating over 29 kilograms of a substance containing fentanyl and xylene. A hazmat evacuation of Teotopolis in the aftermath of a deadly crash, causing several weekend events in Effingham County to be canceled. Oktoberfest hosted by Teotopolis Civic Club. Now organizers making sure all the food they had for the event is put to good use. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Weather brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
Climate Action Week is this week, and there's all kinds of activities, different speakers that you'll want to take note of, learn more about solar energy, and all kinds of things. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign, Van Ambas, Saturday, and a summer-like day's worth of weather ahead for the day today. Again, high temperatures with a mainly sunny sky to about 88. A bit of a southeast to south wind. Clouds will increase tonight. A mild October night, low down to 64. Tomorrow, partly sunny, continued warm and increasing south wind, high to about 85 degrees. It'll be an approaching cold front tomorrow night with a couple of showers breaking out. Maybe a thunderstorm. Best chances after midnight, low down to 66. And a much cooler Thursday, some occasional shower activity, maybe a rumble of thunder, the high to about 73. Cooler still with a few afternoon sprinkles on Friday, partly sunny at 64, and it's an autumn feel for the upcoming weekend. 58 for the high on Saturday, 59 on Sunday. Sunday to part the cloudy skies. Nights will be down into the upper 30s to lower 40s. We'll pull back up into the 60s and a dry weather pattern for Monday and Tuesday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right, ESPN 93.5. So if you find yourself on social media and you're trolling, the word, and then you buy something?
Yes.
I am 0 for 2. I've bought 2 things and never received anything.
Okay.
And good luck calling whatever number
That's right.
So you lose money.
And then when I bought something, it didn't look anything like the picture. And it was, super thin fabric, and it didn't fit right. And it's like, why did I do that? And I was mad at myself for putting my information out there, most importantly.
Well, that's already out there.
I don't like to jump through all those hoops, especially when it comes to buying something, because I'm entering some digits in.
Kellyanne Winjet is a wealth strategist. How are you, Kellyanne from Dallas, on the Tabbins Towing phone line?
Good morning.
Yeah, so if you buy something online, 0 for 2 for me. I'm not going to do 0 for 3 because I'm not going to do it. What the heck? I mean, where's my stuff?
You probably will do it again.
Okay, maybe. Anyway, it's just so.
Since we're confessing, where are you, Kellyanne, on this? Do you online purchase?
Oh, yeah, I think we're all kind of guilty of it. And it's really just because we have such a different relationship with the internet than we did, say, 25 years ago, when you had to call a 1-800 number, then maybe get through to somebody if you saw a commercial on a Saturday morning. Now it's following you around the internet, telling you exactly what you want all day long, everywhere where you go. You can't escape it. And there's a buy now button.
And it's that easy.
Right.
It is. In the good old days of whatever we watched on TV was somebody pitching that new makeup.
Right.
Oh, man, that's good. And if I call before midnight tomorrow,
right,
I'm going to get a really good deal.
The
man.
Good deal.
I don't know. So millennials and Gen Z are regretting some of these decisions. Is that what I understand, Kellyanne?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you get pressured because obviously this thing is following you around. It is something that you want, right? And you have the options of buying now or buying now and paying later. There's just a lot of ways that facilitate the, immediate gratification purchasing habits. And it's across everybody. I mean, it goes all the way to the boomers.
Yeah. Well, it's in dieting, the things that make the most sense is eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. And the wealth management stuff, it's like trying not to spend more than you make.
Mm-hmm.
But with credit cards and stuff and the emotion of spend, it just gets away from us, and then we get tangled in the web. If you're in the credit card web, it's going 25-30% interest right now, so it's pretty hard to get out. How does somebody who doesn't have extra get out of this $1 trillion in debt that for the first time ever America is in with credit cards, Kellyanne?
I mean, it really is going to have to be a mindset change and some real self-work to change the buying habits. You had, essentially 3 years of people being trapped up and cooped up in their homes, and they just want to experience things. They want to buy things that they haven't been doing for 2 years. And even in the high net worth, high income earners, you have the same kind of emotional response to their investment portfolio. When things are going crazy, they react, and it ultimately hurts their portfolio.
Yeah, well, many of us don't have a portfolio. I mean, is it ever too late to start and discipline yourself?
No, I think that as long as let me correct myself. If you are still in an income earning age, you can redirect your cash flow into investments to plan for a different retirement. If you're beyond retirement and living on Social Security, it's a lot more difficult to get out of those kind of financial holes.
But you got to start somewhere, Kelly, right? I mean, you just can't give up.
No, you can't give up. And a lot of that has to do with, making sure that you're paying attention to what's going on in your local economy and government, and that you're participating in the entire democratic process. Because a lot of this has to do with policy change that really is going to help, the next 3 generations be able to afford retirement.
Well, what about that? We're going to get our Social Security. Right. We've been hearing about that forever.
The program has to change. There's just no way that it can keep up. And essentially, as a W-2 employee, you're giving the government an interest-free loan your entire life, and then expecting them to give it back to you at a reasonable rate that can afford your living expenses.
Yeah. Well, it's a constant battle, and right now it's not any easier. I mean, right now, if you go to the grocery store, and we're all spending more than we ever have. I mean, ever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's such a disconnect between the feds who are making financial policy and the reality of real people living their lives. The grocery store is 3 times more expensive. The gas is 2 times more expensive. I'm 5 generations in oil and gas, so this is an industry I really watch carefully. And, there's just decisions being made that need to be different.
I don't understand here in Dallas. I mean, I don't understand the oil and gas argument, because it's fine. You can go clean all you want. It's just going to take time, as opposed to do it by Monday right? I mean, it's just we got to graduate into that. When you shut it all down, you can't just flip a switch and get oil and gas back by Tuesday. It takes time to ramp it all up. And then we expect Venezuela and China and India to be better with the earth than us because we're going to buy it from them. Doesn't make any sense.
You're right, exactly. The reality is that we need cheap oil in order to pay for growth and infrastructure change. A barrel of oil is a part of everything. And you saw explosive growth 4 or 5 years ago because oil was like $40 a barrel.
Yeah, right.
So we're able to build things. We're able to innovate. And I think that, you have to make the investment today to have a better and cleaner tomorrow.
Well, right, exactly. And nobody's against cleaner. It's an evolution of things, and we're doing it. But it's a rush job that's really messing us up. And these policies of high energy is going to mess up the whole economy continually. And if we don't stop it, it'll get worse. So that's my take, Kellyanne. We have opinions here.
Good summary.
Yeah, happy Tuesday morning.
How can people connect with Kellyanne, Winjet? Winjet, is that how I spell it?
Winget.
G-E-T. Okay, how can they find you?
They can find, if they want to look into my private equity company, it's alternativewealthpartners.com. If they want to learn a little bit more about me and my background, it's kellyanwinget.com.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for your time. Appreciate you. ESPN 93.5. Brett Bielema, our head football coach, met with the media yesterday.
Well, obviously not an easy Sunday. Mondays always get a little better, but I thought our guys, handled a quiet bus ride home. A lot of pain in the end of that game. But the key to a Sunday is learning from yesterday's mistakes and turning the page. So with a short bye week, that's a short game week. We got to really do a better job of that. So we basically met with them, showed them some things that were positive. Obviously started the game on a positive note offensively to have a play, gain that kind of yards. Obviously would have loved to come away with points, but we did start the game with a scoring opportunity. Defensively started pretty well, put in some tough positions, overcame that moment. But obviously a lot of things we needed to correct, especially in that second half. So from an injury standpoint, I think Reggie, he did practice last week, earlier in the week, didn't feel great Thursday, Friday, let the game time decision on Saturday play out. The plan is tomorrow he'll be with us for practice. Our first practice of the week will be tomorrow. We'll go through a walkthrough tonight, but it won't be full speed, so he'll be able to take place in that. Zai hopefully will as well. Zai and Geske are both a work in progress to see where they get for the weekend. But other than that, there were some guys that played in the game that were a little banged up. They got through it pretty good overall, so really shouldn't be any issues other than that. Nebraska is very similar to our situation. They're 2-3, identical records actually. Both of us have 2 losses in conference play, so there's a lot of different variables going into it. But I think this week is a lot about us. Obviously, Nebraska and what they've accomplished. Played a couple different quarterbacks. They're playing really good on defense. A very difficult challenge. And then Friday night with a short week is one that we've already done this year. So we kind of I spent yesterday a lot of time looking at what we did in that Kansas prep, just the logistics of it. I didn't love the results, but more along the lines of preparation. So we're changing that up a little bit on our approach either tonight, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday before the game.
All right, Brett Bielema yesterday.
Illinois, Nebraska, 7 o'clock Friday night. Now the Maryland game on October 14th has been tapped in College Park, Maryland at 2:30 against the Terrapins. Go Illini! Speaking of Illini, Devin Witherspoon, quite a game last night as Seattle beat the New York Giants 24-3. And when he ran 97 yards and scored a touchdown.
Interception touchdown.
Pretty
pick six.
Amazing.
2 sacks, bunch of good tackles. He is quick, and we miss him. Devin Witherspoon, Seattle.
And we got the playoff games tonight, but none of our teams of local interest are in it. Are we just passing?
I'll watch a little when there's nothing else on. I mean, it's right. I mean, but the energy, you like to get the energy of the crowd and the games and all that's on the line. All that stuff is fun. Jay Lehman, every Monday on The Drive.
We did a good job of keeping some of our guys that we needed to keep here. I think that's what they kind of trumped up as, hey, this is what we did. We kept the guys that could have gone somewhere or gone to the NFL. We kept them here. They did try to hit the JUCO a little bit. They got one of the top 10 transfer quarterbacks probably out there on the market. So Altmaier, they probably got. I know they probably wanted Hudson Card. They were competitive again. I think Hudson Card just went there because the air raid at Purdue. But as far as filling the voids that you need, we did not do a good job in the portal at linebacker because we have a lot of young linebackers.
We do.
Barnes, right?
We do.
We have the defensive back you mentioned, offensive line. I'd even like to see a quick back. Like that's now. I mean, Aiden Lawfrey's quick, but he's just small, struggling in pass protection. Right? We don't have a quick back like a Tyrone Tracy. You watch other teams. Like I was watching Ole Miss LSU on Saturday night.
They make it look so easy.
The offense, there's so much space.
Mississippi LSU, the final was 55-49. Mississippi scored with like a minute to go. It was unbelievable.
I mean, doesn't it? It's just like, throw it here. I mean, you could say they're not playing defense. I get it. It seems like guys are just draped over us, and every yard is like just. It's like the Camargo crawl. It's just
right.
And you watch LSU and Ole Miss, and it's just like guys catching the ball like a little 5-yard route. He jibber jabbers for a 7-yard run.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
It just seems
simple.
so simple and easy, and then when we watch it, it's just so painful.
Yeah. Jay Lehman, you can hear the whole interview at StevieJay.com, the podcast from last night. Yeah, Luke Altmaier too. And he said, it's not the offensive line. I've got to make my job better. I'm making it harder on them. I need to know and have a presence of when I'm close or where I need to move, as opposed to he thinks, he took a lot of the blame. So that's what good leaders do.
Okay.
They deflect to themselves and say, hey, I put them in a bad spot because I need to be aware of where I am in the pocket and move out when appropriate and do this and do that, and I can get better. Again, he's played 5 football games in his life.
Right.
This is a freshman, but it's not. It's a transfer. It's an older guy. And if he's that good and he's got the character to be outstanding, if he can match that with performance consistently over time. But again, how many freshmen are very good? He's not a freshman but he is in game experience. Anyway, I think it's going to be okay, but it doesn't feel very good right now.
That's right.
All right, it's 7:46. We'll talk a little about your pets here coming up. Do some weather next.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Hey, Class A CDL drivers. Gail Frericks Trucking wants to invite you to join our team and get a taste of what it's like to work with a team that cares about you, your home time, and your professional growth, as well as your paycheck. This is Operations Manager Donna Onstadt inviting you to join us as we continue building the company you would have started if you knew then what you know now. At GFT, we welcome all qualified Class A CDL holders. So if you have 2 years of experience or less with military service, a clean driving record, and a positive work ethic, we want you to fill one of our 3 open regional van positions today. Our drivers are pre-dispatched to make a guaranteed minimum gross pay of $1,200 per week, have paid vacations and benefits, and are home every weekend and sometimes during the week for quality family time. Our openings are limited, so don't miss your opportunity with the top-paying trucking company in the area, Gail Frericks Trucking. Call 765-793-7131 today, 765-793-7131, or email timo@gftlog.com.
We did a good job of keeping some of our guys.
He's not the weather guy. That was Jay Lehman.
He could be the weather guy. Whatever he says,
the guy can talk about Fruit Loops, and I'm listening.
Right.
He's just so unbelievable easy to hear. All right, now meteorologist Greg Solier with our latest forecast.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, and Anvis, and another couple of days of almost midsummer-like warmth across the area. Cold front expected to come through the area and generate some pretty good coverage shower activity. Nothing out of control in the moisture department, so should be able to get back at it with backyard and back 40 work here as we move on through the weekend and into next week after a cool snap here for the weekend. Temperatures heading back to and above seasonal expectations still. Plenty of late season 60s and warmth on the extended weather maps and charts. Sunfill in 88 today with a bit of a southeast to south wind, increasing clouds 64 tonight, partly sunny 85 tomorrow. Showers break out tomorrow night, maybe a thunderstorm as well, low down to 66. An occasional shower or 2 or 3 for the day on Thursday. A much cooler day at 73. A couple of afternoon sprinkles, partly sunny, breezy, cool. 64 on Friday, won't pass 60. 58 to 59 the high Saturday and Sunday. Back into the 60s Monday and Tuesday. Overnight readings upper 30s and lower 40s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Here's what one shopper said about Pard's Western Shop in Urbana, 306 North Maple, between Maine and University. He said, sure, you can find booths at some big box stores, but nothing like Pard's selection. They're unique, they're local, and they have an excellent store. So many people that visit Pard's in Urbana say the same thing. Pard's in Urbana, 306 North Maple. You can find the best boots in the world and shop local. Visit pards.com, pards.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it is so important to work with experienced agents like Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at Taylor Realty Associates. They have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at Taylor Realty Associates. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com.
Like every bank, there's a time every day when we stop making loans. But at Iroquois Federal, we never stop making a difference. Thanks to an amazing team of employees who give back to their local communities all over central Illinois. From hospital boards and local school programs to Kiwanis and the United Way, Iroquois Federal employees donated more than 1,000 volunteer hours last year. And we'll do it again next year, because the only thing we like more than making a loan is making a difference. Iroquois Federal, still friendly, still local, still here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Crossroads Contractor Supply specializes in the delivery of tools and supplies within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana. Reliable, timely, and with reasonable prices, Crossroads Contractor Supply knows what equipment and tools are needed for your job. Get the job done right with proper tools and equipment. Did something break? Construction materials, tools, as well as safety equipment, all available at Crossroads Contractor Supply. Visit crossroadscontractorsupplyil.com.
Now, Tuesdays, we talk about your pets, doggies and cats. Dr. Todd Likens, veterinarian, Madison Kirby in Champaign. Todd, how are you?
Hey, we're doing good up here, Stevie. How you doing?
Good. What percentage of people go to a veterinarian?
Not enough. Let's put it that way. I think there are 150,000 pets for every veterinarian in this country.
What?
There's no way I'm seeing 150,000 different pets a year.
Seriously? So you're supposed to have all these shots to keep their health and all these things in check. Do you think half the people do what they're supposed to do or no?
No, it's less than that. I mean, a lot of times we just see them at the beginning when they first get them, and we see them at the end stages of life.
We got to see them every now and then for rabies shots, right?
See them, yeah, we can see them. The rabies shot's the only shot that's required by law.
Yeah.
And so, therefore, we see them once every 3 years, or, there's a 1 year shot, but most people go with a 3 year shot.
Let me translate what Booth just said. He said, I get too many shots, so let's talk about it.
Right.
Yeah, because Dr. Todd,
in the background.
If I bring a puppy or a new dog to you, what documentation should I bring?
Excellent question. So we deal with, Joanne was on vacation, my front person this week. And so, therefore, I've been working the front and seeing things. And now I realize how much work they go through.
Yeah.
I need a certain amount of paperwork if you want me to do my job right. Bringing me records if you want a second opinion. I need to know what the other veterinarian thought. So I need to see more than a receipt. And if your puppy... People come in and say they've had shots. Well, I need to see what shots that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, without that knowledge, we have to search for it in your time. It's best to get it to me ahead of time. And this helps me out a ton, and all veterinarians, it helps out a ton to have the history before we see you.
I mean, does a veterinarian give that up? I mean, willingly saying, hey, could I get material?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's no big deal.
No. I mean, it's just like yesterday I had one that dogs had skin problems for years. Well, the one thing they didn't bring the record, so I wasn't sure what drugs they had, so we had to play 20 questions on that.
Mm-hmm.
But even lab testing, and I had to repeat labs that probably had already been done because we weren't sure what the status was.
I see.
And it can save you money too. Just get me the paperwork.
You know, somebody asked me the other day what dog insurance I have, and yes, friends, I said dog insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And Embrace is what you told me years ago, and I've been very pleased with Embrace.
Yeah, and that's Forbes just came out. There's a new list come out every year, and some of these insurance companies have got weird names. Lemonade's a very high ranked one. That's a new one. And can you imagine having your pet insurance named Lemonade?
Lemonade?
Lemonade. That's the name of the insurance company. I thought that was pretty funny.
I would probably name it Fido. No,
Fido.
Fido Insurance. Anyway, I think what they have in Embrace Insurance is like I have $1,000 deductible. You say $1,000? Well, if you do a doggy surgery these days, Todd, it's thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say referral clinics tell me that don't send people over unless they're prepared to spend $5,000 to $10,000.
Wow.
And hello, you gotta think they gotta send. You got to have insurance and have 80% of it taken care of makes a real difference.
Yeah, if you pay the first $1,000 and they pay the next $9,000 up to $10,000, and I think I'm paying $25 a month or something. Okay. Anyway, good stuff. Dr. Todd, how can people reach out and find you?
Well, because Joanna's off, I brought in the 18. Taylor's here on the front desk working both ends today.
Wow.
So we give her a call or a text and give her a call or text at 217-355-5051.
All right, thanks, buddy. Talk soon.
All right, see you guys.
It has to be distracting
Got
to
his
have
hands full.
Everything, and then the boof.
Juggling the leash.
I call that dog Boof. I don't even know what his name is, but he just boofs. Boof, boof. I go in there. I was there last week, and I say, Boofy, come here. And he's just standing 3 feet away. Boof, boof, boof.
Right,
boof.
right.
And then he'll come over, and then he won't boof while I'm petting him. And then he'll go 3 feet away. Boof, boof. I don't know if that be something that would be like white noise. If you go to bed with Boof,
right?
Boof, boof, would that be like you wouldn't hear the storm or something? Boof, boof. It's amazing. I've never seen a dog talk all the time. It's just stunning.
There's probably some issue. I mean,
you think? He talks all the time. So do I.
I mean, people have all kinds of issues.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So it's got to be something.
Well, if somebody adopts Boof after he's done being a stud, you got that.
Right.
Oof, oof. I bet you quit. It's like a train. You quit hearing it, right?
Right.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, we're out of time for the hour. Welcome to text in 217-359-2255. We always appreciate you.
Yep.
With your thoughts and opinions. 217 texter said, in regard to ordering online, he said, I like bricks and mortar.
Yes.
Here.
I mean, of course.
But
sometimes you just
click
get sucked
here
in.
at your door.
Right.
Don't have to go to the mall. Don't have to park.
And for me, when I was in that wedding zone, I had so many mothers of the bride dresses that kept coming up on social media or everywhere. I must have been clicking on something at some point because, what is it, geofencing or whatever, where they figure out what you're trying to buy.
You see it forever. The problem is if you're looking for a flight to Cancun, you'll get a lot of offers for Cancun.
That's right.
And you're going, creepy, but I'm going. And then the problem is a month later, you're still getting...
I know.
They don't know that you went.
Exactly.
At least they don't know you went. That's good. No, it's a whole thing is a little creepy.
Oh, darn. I missed John's question about if you're playing Frisbee with the dog, do they ever get too tired and should you stop playing?
No, I think there's an issue with some of those dogs that they won't quit.
Right.
They'll just, Todd had a dog like that. And he said he'll go to it collapses.
Oh, wait. Is it true if the dog lays down during playtime, like Frisbee? Is he getting too tired?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Ask Tom.
I know. That's a sight for me.
No, I mean, it would make sense that they're done. If you throw it and they don't go get it, you're done. Right? Time to rest. Todd tells me sometimes you just got to be the adult.
Right.
So, all right, we're going to break. We'll be right back. News, weather, sports in our next hour. Lots coming. Stand by. I'm Stevie J. That's Diane Ducey. And news next.
These days, it seems like bank names are changing faster than a forecast in February. But at Iroquois Federal, we're still the same community bank we've always been. For more than 135 years, we've built relationships by helping build the things that matter, whether it's a business, a back porch, or the building blocks of a better life. If you're looking for a bank that's here for the long haul, swing by today and see for yourself why different rules. Iroquois Federal, still friendly, still local, still here.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
The president's son has a court date. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Today in Delaware, where Hunter Biden's expected to plead not guilty to felony gun charges.
2 counts of making false statements for claiming on a form required for the gun purchase that he was not using drugs illegally at the time. He also, by the way, faces a 3rd charge based on the same statements that he illegally possessed the gun, which he had for only 11 days back in October of 2018.
And that's Fox's Kevin Cork. House Republicans will meet this hour after Congressman Matt Gaetz introduced a resolution to oust House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who predicts he'll survive the challenge.
Kevin McCarthy likes to pretend that he makes coalition with conservatives, but all he really does is break his word with conservatives.
Gaetz is upset McCarthy, a Republican, worked with Democrats to avert a government shutdown, passing a short-term funding bill without spending cuts they demanded. A House Democrat was attacked.
The good news here is that Texas Congressman Henry Cuellar escaped this situation last night without injury. He was robbed of his vehicle, phone, and other items in an armed carjacking. It happened around 9:30 p.m. outside of his apartment building. That was in the Navy Yard neighborhood. It's a popular area about a mile south of the Capitol building.
That's Fox's Alexandria Hoff. Police looking for 3 suspects. A 9-year-old girl who went missing while riding her bike over the weekend in New York. Found alive. Charlotte Senna was rescued from a kidnapper.
Early yesterday morning, police say the suspect actually showed up at the family's house to drop a ransom note in the mailbox. Police were able to lift a fingerprint and trace it to the suspect's camper, where Charlotte was ultimately found.
Fox's Todd Pyro at Morrow Lake State Park.
47-year-old Craig Nelson Ross Jr. is now in custody after a brief stint in the hospital. He was arraigned this morning at about 3:40 a.m., charged with first-degree kidnapping.
A shooting in a shopping mall in Bangkok, Thailand, left 3 people dead, 6 injured as hundreds fled in panic. The suspected gunman in custody, a 14-year-old boy. America's listening to Fox News.
Democrats just want to win the next election, and they're trying to do it with ceaseless money printing. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon. It is critical to protect your retirement right now with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. There's nothing to buy and no obligation at all. Text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick. Soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower for steamy Vicks Vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower use for adults only.
The Pentagon is warning that it's running low on money already approved by Congress to provide military aid to Ukraine, replacing weapons and ammo already sent there and used in the fight against Russia's invasion. Congress did not provide more funding in the short-term budget approved over the weekend, so President Biden says,
I fully expect the Speaker and the majority of the Republicans in Congress to keep their commitment to secure the passage of the support needed to help Ukraine as it defends itself against Russian aggression and brutality.
Ukraine says it thwarted most of Russia's air attacks overnight.
The Ukrainian Air Force says Russia spent 3 hours targeting the regions of Mykolaiv and Dnipropetrovsk. It claims to have shot down 29 of 31 drones and 1 cruise missile. Falling debris caused at least 2 fires on the ground, but there are no reports yet of any casualties. Meanwhile, an official in Russia has alleged Ukraine fired cluster munitions at a village just inside its border, damaging several houses. He didn't offer photographic evidence and the claim has not been verified. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could drop at the opening bell this hour. Dow futures down more than 100 points. You didn't win the Powerball fortune last night. I didn't. Nobody did.
The jackpot has now grown to at least $1.2 billion. With a one-time cash payout option of $551.7 million ahead of Wednesday night's drawing. One player in Delaware and another in Michigan did win $1 million, while 2 players, one in New York and one in South Carolina, won $2 million through the power play option. The last time there was a Powerball jackpot winner was back on July 19th, and that was also a $1 billion prize. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
On Monday Night Football, the Seattle Seahawks beat the New York Giants 24-3 to close out Week 4 of the NFL season, and the Major League Baseball playoffs start today with 4 games. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Emergency response teams wrapped up their operations in Teotopolis. Since Friday night, a number of local, state, and even federal agencies have worked together in responding to 4,000 gallons of leak and hydrous ammonia. Teotopolis residents were allowed to return to their homes before 8 o'clock Saturday night, with law enforcement lifting evacuations along affected areas. Authorities investigating a deadly crash in Ogle County. The accident happened Saturday morning at Merrill and Holcomb Roads. Police say a 2007 Chrysler Town & Country van failed to stop at a stop sign, lost control, then crashed into a creek embankment. Matthew Frank and James Collard died on scene. Peoria police searching for a missing 15-year-old runaway, Arturo Alvarado, last seen last Thursday near the 2300 block of West Ventura Court. Alvarado is a Hispanic male who's 5'6", weighs 130. Anyone with information, contact Peoria Police. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. ESPN 93.5. We check our weather. Our meteorologist Greg Soyan. What you seeing here after this beautiful weather has been passing through? Do we have anything to look at, Greg, that would make us go, uh-oh?
No, not at all. You know, maybe a little reminder that it is October. We're into the early stages of astronomical autumn around here. So from time to time here, even with a fairly strong El Nino in position, we'll get these cold fronts to come on by. They'll be relatively short-lived, at least the cold air mass. And matter of fact, by mid to late next week, jet-stream winds come racing out of the Pacific across the Rockies, the downslope flow, that Chinook warming, and we'll do just that around here. See temperatures head back to and then above seasonal expectations, really the outlook over the next 10 to 15 to almost 20 days. And outside of what we come up with here later tomorrow night into Thursday, that's it for any significant moisture, so no need to rush it, panic, worry about it with harvest and backyard work in mind. Plenty of it ahead here in the days and weeks to come. 61 already at Willard and Savoy, 62 at Rantoul, same at Bloomington Normal, 59 at Danville. We ought to be down in the upper 40s to low 50s at this point in an early October morning, but we're not, and that sets the stage for a nice day's worth of summer-like high of 88. Wouldn't be surprised. A couple of bank and barn and vehicle thermometers tickle 90 as well. Sunshine, a southeast to south wind. Increasing clouds tonight. Humidity dew points come up, and same with temperatures down to 64. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow. Still warm. South breezes pick up and a high around 85. Showers get going tomorrow night. Best temperatures after midnight through Thursday morning. About a quarter to maybe a third of an inch of rain. We can deal with that. 73 on Thursday. Then chillier at 64 on Friday with afternoon sprinkles. Weekend is high and dry. Chilly, though. Just upper 50s Saturday and Sunday. Nights in the upper 30s to low 40s. Someone's car top might have a little whimper of frost here come Sunday morning. Then we turn back 60s here for Monday and Tuesday. 70s, the end portion of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right, thank you, Greg. Appreciate you. ESPN 93.5, 808 in Champaign-Urbana. Happy to welcome Dr. Shahan Chowdhury. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Doing well.
A board-certified family physician at Tailored Health, and you're in Dallas?
That's correct.
Good to have you. Okay, so we all have a little bit of stress, right? I mean, everybody carries some such stress. But the connection there with your heart health, there's a dynamic connection there, Shahan?
Yeah. Okay. So I think we all, like you said, intuitively know that too much stress, continuous stress, is not good for us. And this study looked at quite a lot of people that were basically in an office setting that had stress related to their work, to their environment there. And they found that over time that they had an increased risk of developing some kind of heart disease, a heart attack or something like that.
And stress can do that. I mean, I guess it's not shocking, but I mean, this report, this survey, this study kind of ties it together.
I think the big picture here is our modern day life is causing so much stress. If you compound work stress, financial stress, home stress, all of that, essentially we're all under a lot more stress. But you know what? It's how we deal with it. How do we see it? Some people, they're in a position where they can't really change. It's very difficult for them. Others, they can see that, okay, this stress is actually leading me somewhere. If I think back to my residency days and how much stress I was, but I knew there was a point to it. So it all depends on what kind of stress, how long, and so on like that. But ultimately, the modern day living, how we sleep because of the stress, how we respond to that stress by eating a lot of sugar, a lot of processed foods.
Yeah.
We don't,
Your origin, it sounds Indian. Are you from India?
No. Well, my parents are from Bangladesh. I was born and raised in England.
I was hearing the England accent there, and I was confused. My family lived in India when I was a boy, and now I would call that stress. I would call what I saw in poverty of India stress. I think that we have stress here, and it's real. But if you think about the global perspective, we got great lives here. And I don't know if we have the perspective to understand how the rest of the world lives, maybe, huh?
I think that word perspective is key. I think there are things we can do and things we can't do. And so you've all heard the adage, it's not what happens to us, it's how we react to what happens to us.
Yes.
And so that stress needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be social circles, our mentors, whatever it is. And then we need to harness that energy and reframe it and go from there. And so, yes, everybody's carrying their own cross, but each of us have to take care of our own burden. And so this is where we've got to talk about lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And so what you do in your lifestyle matters greatly to offset that.
Well, a lot of it is obviously rest, and then obviously eating and moving your body. I mean, those are pretty key, all that. If you sit sedentary kind of style, man, it creeps up on you, and all of a sudden, you're a long way from being fit.
Correct.
Yeah.
So a little bit goes a long way if you keep doing it.
What part of England?
I'm a London girl.
Well, did you hear what they did in England? I don't think, Diane, you heard this. Ban cell phones in schools.
Really?
How about that, Shahan? What do you think of that?
That'll relieve the kids' stress.
I think that's a great idea. I really do.
Not having stress by that decision, right?
I mean, but it's just the kids. I think it's a net bad for kids anymore with social media and the pressures and everything else. Dr. Shahan Chowdhury, how can people connect with you?
They are welcome to look at my website, which is simply tailored.health. Tailored, TAILORED.health. There's no .com. And you'll get our connecting information and what we do and so on and so on.
Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. How about that? London and England have banned cell phones in schools.
Yeah.
Can you look that up to see if that's real? Heard it this morning. I mean, come on, man. Isn't that a good idea?
I feel like it is, but you could never get that done now. The genie is out of the bottle.
They did it in England. Don't you think they're connected to their phones pretty? I mean, I think you just do it. No phones allowed. What if there's an emergency? Well, I know. I get it. But I think First of all, they're looking at him in class, okay?
I know that.
And you can't tell them no because that would be mean. And you don't want to be mean.
England's banning phones in schools, posted 20 hours ago. How they'll enforce it is the question.
You just don't have a phone in your hand. It's banned. I'm going to take that now, and after school, come get it. Put your name on it in the box.
England has yanked phones use because their use of bullying others.
Well, that's what you can say, but it's distracting and detrimental in other ways as well. Anyway, no, hail, here. I mean, yay.
Yeah.
But you're right. It would be a real fight because the kids leaving their phones at home, or they'd rather go to school without any pants. I'm telling you, it's an addiction, and we've got it. And they'd be, you can't tell me what, and all that stuff. Right? Anyway, I think it's
necessary to combat distractions and cyberbullying, this article says.
Why don't we do that? Anybody else? Anybody for banning phones in schools? Now, again, I gave my kids a phone in 6th grade at middle school to call home. That's all it could do. I mean, maybe you say, okay, no smartphones. And then you have to look to see if that's a smartphone because you can't tell. I'd say it's no phones. Stevie J just banned phones in schools.
So it's in schools, so as soon as they, walk off the school property, then they could call their parents or whatever they do. Everybody's pulling it out of their backpack at that time, right?
So you have it with you, but if you use it, so you got to go sneak around and peek? I don't know. I'd say no phones.
Well, and it says in the U.S., many school administrators require students to stow their devices in their lockers or backpacks during the day. But the results have been mixed at best.
Okay, so there you go. 217-359-2255. It's easy for me to support because I don't have kids in school anymore. So,
right.
I'm all for it.
Our line
get off my lawn! Get off my lawn!
Turn down the music.
What?
We are facing Nebraska Friday night at 7 o'clock. If you want to text in Illini, I have a couple more pairs of tickets I could hand you. So we'll negotiate that, either coming to downtown Philo or something like that. 359-2255. Maryland at 2:30 on October 14th when we're in College Park taking on the Terrapins. We have baseball going on. The Texas Rangers and Tampa Bay Rays will be the first game at 2:08. Toronto and the Minnesota Twins, Arizona Diamondbacks, Milwaukee Brewers. The late game tonight will be Miami and the Phillies. Jonathan Taylor is cleared to practice on Wednesday. Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts, both 2-2 on the season, due to play. Did you hear about Russ Francis at the age of 70?
Yeah.
Passed away in a plane crash.
Wow, he was a very good tight end for the New England
Patriots, San Francisco 49ers. Even tried his talents at wrestling for a little while.
Russ Francis was the character, and he's a really good football player. Yeah, I do remember.
He was 70.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd bring that up, too. That's essentially sports. I know we got a lot of good out of our afternoon show yesterday on The Drive.
Just hearing Jay Lehman yesterday with Lon and Derek.
Well, I think that's a good point. I still think Brett is the guy to build this program.
Yes.
I haven't changed that. I think you look at his pedigree from what he did at Iowa, from what he did at Wisconsin and K-State.
Unwavering commitment
Even some
to
of his
help
success
keep
at Arkansas in a
up and
really
running.
tough division.
Call
I would say he's
goodpritcher.com
still
or just
the guy.
stop by.
I think
Granger.
losing faith.
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Hold on.
Did your belt hit the button?
No. I know what happened. When I recorded it, I had the audition button pushed down and recorded it when it went to
that does happen.
Anyway, Jay was awesome. Go to steviej.com and you can hear
the whole podcast feature for either one of our shows.
Yeah. But it was good. Well, it's just entertaining because Jay. Why is he entertaining? Because he's authentic.
Mm-hmm.
He's credible because he All-American linebacker who made himself into. I mean, he was at Champaign Central High School.
Yeah,
and he was good, but he wasn't that good. He got great, and he was an emotional leader and everything else. Luke Altmaier is also on the Monday show. You can't miss Luke Altmaier. I think he is a 5-star character, good man, and really trying to get this thing fixed.
Yeah, it was obviously very disappointing for us as a team. A week that we had high expectations for, and a game that this team had circled on our schedule since we knew when we were going to play these guys. And, it was disappointing, especially on our side of the ball, where, I felt like at the end of the day, a kind of reoccurring theme is, we're stopping and hurting ourselves. There's opportunities out there for us to do well. Coaches are putting us in positions to execute, and wasn't able to do that.
Yeah, he just took responsibility, which everybody likes in a leader. Luke Holtmeyer, every Monday, 4:05.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana is Saturday, and a summer-like day's worth of weather ahead for the day today. Again, high temperatures with a mainly sunny sky to about 88. A bit of a southeast to south wind. Clouds will increase tonight. A mild October night, low down to 64. Tomorrow, partly sunny, continued warm and increasing south wind, high to about 85 degrees. It'll be an approaching cold front tomorrow night with a couple of showers breaking up, maybe a thunderstorm. Best chances after midnight, low down to 66. And a much cooler Thursday, some occasional shower activity, maybe a rumble of thunder, the high to about 73. Cooler still with a few afternoon sprinkles on Friday, partly sunny at 64, and it's an autumn feel for the upcoming weekend. 58 for the high on Saturday, 59 on Sunday. Sunday to partly cloudy skies. Nights will be down into the upper 30s to lower 40s. We'll pull back up into the 60s and a dry weather pattern for Monday and Tuesday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Krispy Kreme shares are rallying. The company's looking into selling its stake in Insomnia Cookies. Insomnia was started as a late-night bakery in Philadelphia. It delivers warm cookies and ice cream. Though Krispy Kreme owns part of Insomnia, it has been operating independently. Volkswagen has hired a veteran electric car executive to speed up development of its EVs. Sanjay Lal was previously with Tesla and Rivian. Lal will lead VW's Cariad unit, which is developing 2 EV models. Eli Lilly is buying Point Biopharma, a company that makes cancer treatments. Lilly will pay $1.4 billion. McCormick shares are down 3% after a mixed quarter. Its consumer business in China was impacted by the slower than expected economic recovery there. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
New from the Fox News Podcast Network.
I'm Emily Campagno, and this is the Fox True Crime Podcast.
And I had nothing to do with her disappearance.
I sit down with the people who lived the nightmares.
I was in shock. I was just devastated.
The investigators who tirelessly worked on the case.
And I really hope that they can catch this guy.
Bringing you closer to the story than you ever thought possible.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
These are the stories that keep you up at night.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Local, personal, trusted. Hi, this is Todd Durakan with First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, and we've been serving Champaign County since 1908. Our institution is safe, strong, and stable. We operate on a foundation of responsible and sound practices, and you can rest easy knowing we're your bank. Rated 5-star superior by Bauer Financial Inc., fast, friendly, and local, with local loan decisions and underwriting. If you're not already banking with us, give us a try, and we think you'll love it here. First Federal Savings Bank, 356bank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 435120.
So Monday night's Powerball jackpot, $1.07 billion. And it looks like nobody hit all 6 lottery numbers, but there was a few tickets worth $100,000. But really, when you're in it for the $1.07 billion.
Yeah. So it's now going to be 1.2 or something. And again, you don't get any sympathy, but it's only a $500 million payout. It's $1.2 billion.
Right.
Where's my money? Is that $1.2 billion? What is if you take it over 20 years? Not really. Come on, man. Anyway, everybody takes the lump sum. And again, it's going to land on somebody's grill. I just say, if you're on the moon and you wait till North America shows up in your viewfinder and you throw a rock, it's got to hit your grill. Those are the odds of winning this lottery. But somebody's throwing a rock and it will hit a grill.
So and when is the next drawing was what I was
Wednesday,
looking
isn't it?
up.
Don't they do it tomorrow?
Wednesday night.
And it's not $1 anymore,
Will
right?
be one of the largest lottery prizes of all times. Powerball and Mega Millions.
It's $2 though to enter, right?
$2 in most states.
Okay. Well, I don't think I've probably purchased 10 tickets in my life, and I don't think I've ever hit one number.
Right.
Not one. Where's the fun in that?
Yeah. But you just, to me, you just got to try when it gets this big, especially.
Yeah,
and
well.
Start dreaming.
Okay.
You hear these sound bites of people that would, somebody said, a place in Fiji or something. And I'm like, wow, that would be cool.
Yeah, but then you'd say, oh, it's so far, and I get so tired. I mean, believe me, we'll find reasons. We'll find complaints. We are a complaining society. We will find stress.
Yes.
We will seek it out, even if we don't. And again, I rail on this all the time, but compared to the world, we got a great life. And here we are running around getting offended by somebody because somebody said something mean. And we just gotta, there are things that have happened to all of us that aren't fair. And there are things that have happened to all of us that just is so mean and so awful. Mm-hmm. But you gotta have thicker skin.
Yeah.
You just can't freak out and go into a fetal position under your desk because somebody looked at you funny.
I don't know about the discipline of people. And, that's part of growing up. And you're going to get scolded. You're going to, you need to learn how to do things right.
You just, the proverbial water off the duck's back. You got to be tougher. And we just we've had it pretty easy now. And particularly over the last couple of decades, it's been no wars, really. I mean, we haven't been in World War II or anything. I mean, it's, some of these horrible Vietnam and some of the stuff that our men and women have gone through. It's been a pretty easy life relative to the rest of the world. But our complaints are gas is high. I had to wait 20 minutes at Chick-fil-A. I mean, those aren't real world problems.
Yeah.
I mean, spending money and making enough and all these things have increased our stress. And if you made $75,000 last year, it's really worth $62 now.
Okay.
That's a huge hit. So money stress is definitely real.
Right.
We're all feeling that. But from the standpoint of waking up, breathing air, having a choice, doing our stuff, kind of going here and there wherever we want, not feeling, the pressures to do something. I mean, it's still pretty doggone good. We're trying to refine. We're a work in progress. It's been that way since 1776, if not before.
Right.
And there are people that gave up their lives so that we could be free. And for those of you who don't think that we need a strong military, we would be invaded without a strong military. Oh, it can't happen. Yeah, it can. Bet me.
Yeah.
There are bad actors. You see all the action going on in the world when we seemingly have a weak president that isn't going to do much about anything. And so you better be strong, but somehow to grab more appreciation for your life today is it'd be nice and try to see. I always think something's going to work out and it's a much better life.
Yeah.
As opposed to doom and gloom and being depressed and thinking, it's over. I mean, it's going to take a little time and a little conditioning, but it's well worth it. I used to tell the kids growing up, choose happy. Choose happy. Oh, it's so bad. No, choose happy. You can find good things.
Right.
You got to seek them out sometimes when you're down, and everybody gets up and down. Everybody has things happen that just aren't fair and just unbelievable. How'd that happen? I mean, it happened. It's just life. That's what life is.
Well, in a situation regarding the police. And, even when A.J. Martin came in, he was talking about how they're gaining on it. And, you can't just think about all you're consuming in the media and in the movies about all these arrests and all this doom and gloom all the time and all these statistics.
You watch the news channels all the time, you can get down.
I know.
Because we have, foundationally, we're struggling a little bit with some of our basic core and morals and values and integrity and honesty, and we're struggling. And we don't have, the setup for kids as much as we used to. And they don't have as good a foundation at home as they used to. And we've all agreed to kind of follow a certain set of rules. Mm-hmm. And when some follow them and others don't, you've got all of that. And it gets into the point of saying, well dang, if they don't get arrested for that, why would I? Let's just go steal, because who cares about the 10 Commandments?
Right.
I mean, it's we're slipping, and I think there's enough people to hold it. And to say, whoa, I've never said a word about anything, but you got to stand up for something. And that's why it's important to get active. Go get some signatures and run for something, even if it's your village board.
Absolutely.
But for you to complain and not do anything kind of makes your complaints a little hollow.
And start small by going to meetings and figuring out how things run and how you can contribute, no matter what it is. It could be a church meeting. It could be, going to a school board meeting or finding out about your local libraries or something like I do, the summer festivals and the patriotic celebrations and things like that.
Yeah. Sorry, Stevie, don't agree with you on our country's in the worst shape it's ever been. I don't know if I said it's ever been. I'm just saying we're slipping on the foundations that made us great. And that is, God, family, we're one country. We're not going to appoint a black woman to be senator in California. Why don't we appoint the best person? Could be an Asian woman. Mm-hmm. It might be a man. But to appoint, for Gavin Newsom said, I'm appointing a black woman. What about the Hispanic woman? What about, just go give me the best person. Right. Go give me the best person. It might be a man, it might be a woman. Mm-hmm. It might be somebody from Guatemala.
Right.
Who cares? That's what America's about. We came here to be together as one, not to continually do this identity politics and say, well, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. No, you're an American. You'll never go anywhere and be them. You'll never be German. You'll never be French, but you can be an American. It doesn't matter.
Well, and LaFonza Butler is now the senator for California, but how many years has she lived in Maryland?
Well, she went to Maryland to work for Emily's something, and that's a pro-abortion. She used to work for Uber, which is anti-union. So, I mean, she kind of took the money there. Anyway, I just don't like being identified as whatever you are. You're an American. I don't care what color you are. We do the content of character.
Well, and to bring sexuality as the first black lesbian to openly serve in the U.S. Senate. Why do we have to know what people are doing behind closed doors?
8:30, we'll be right back.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. Found and rescued, and the kidnapper of a New York girl arrested. A big thanks from the 9-year-old girl's family to the FBI and all who searched.
Charlotte Senna has been located and is in good health. A suspect is in custody. They say this is still an active investigation. They'll be releasing more details when they come.
Police say the kidnapper left a ransom note in the family's mailbox with his prints on it, leading to his arrest. Hunter Biden in court in Wilmington, Delaware, to answer to 3 felony gun charges. Texas Democrat Congressman Henry Cuellar carjacked at gunpoint in Washington, D.C.
Carjacking happened on this block near the 100 block of K Street Southeast. The congressman was parking his car when 3 armed people walked up to him and stole his vehicle. His office is saying luckily he was not harmed.
Fox 5 DC's Shomari Stone, the Honda was recovered. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A man's been arrested and is facing charges after authorities say he confessed to robbing a Subway restaurant in Savoy last month. 21-year-old Devontae Derrickson, identified as a suspect in the September 22nd robbery, using an automated license plate reader, which led them to Derrickson. He was booked into the Champaign County Jail. Illinois State Police continue to investigate a deadly crash in Effingham County involving a semi. It carried thousands of gallons of ammonia. They say the tanker involved in multiple crash Friday night on Highway 40 near Teotopolis. Thousands of gallons of the toxic chemical spilled. It killed 5. Accident also forced the evacuation of 500. Illinoisans who own assault weapons can now submit an endorsement affidavit online. Residents are required to register their assault weapons under the new ban in Illinois. It includes assault weapons, assault weapon attachments, and 50 caliber rifles and 50 caliber cartridges. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, and Van Ness. Saturday, another couple of days of almost midsummer-like warmth across the area. Cold front expected to come through the area and generate some pretty good coverage shower activity. Nothing out of control in the moisture department, so should be able to get back at it with backyard and back 40 work here as we move on through the weekend and into next week. After a cool snap here for the weekend, temperatures heading back to and above seasonal expectations. Still plenty of late-season warmth on the extended weather maps and charts. Sun fill and 88 today with a bit of a southeast to south wind, increasing clouds, 64 tonight, partly sunny, 85 tomorrow. Showers break out tomorrow night, maybe a thunderstorm as well, low down to 66, and an occasional shower or 2 or 3 for the day on Thursday. A much cooler day at 73, a couple of afternoon sprinkles, partly sunny, breezy, cool, 64 on Friday, won't pass 60, 58 to 59 the high Saturday and Sunday, back into the 60s Monday and Tuesday, overnight readings upper 30s and lower 40s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Welcome to Sarah Champagne, where your dream car awaits. With an exquisite selection of top-tier vehicles, impeccable service, and unbeatable prices, they are your ultimate destination for automotive excellence. Experience luxury, performance, and style like never before. Visit today and drive home in the vehicle you've always desired. Sarah Champagne, Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. Your journey towards automotive perfection starts here. Visit them at Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Hey folks, fall is coming, and so are great deals on the world's fastest mower, Dixie Chopper, at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, Dedicated Diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana. They still have some 23 and a select few 22 residential and commercial models at liquidation prices too low to advertise. Whether you're mowing your yard at home or 200 yards commercially, you'll get the best warranty in the business with 3-year bumper-to-bumper unlimited hours or 5-year bumper-to-bumper up to 600 hours that includes the engine, deck, and spindle hub. Go see Andy Bowman at Dedicated Diesel in Urbana for warranty details and best pricing on the world's fastest mower. He's clearing out inventory to make way for the new 24s, and no reasonable offer will be refused. Dedicated Diesel, 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, that's just off Route 45, 217-328-0562.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
By law, Circus Sports has to put that tag if you have a problem with gambling.
Yeah.
And I just wonder the people that have a problem with gambling, if it's anybody ever called that 800 number?
Right.
Ever? But they got to, because we have to tell them that it's dangerous. And okay, how much you want to bet on the game?
I know.
It is, and I've said, I don't think the NFL will be anything like what it is without gambling. Because listen, the 38-year-old man's betting on the games. And then there's fantasy, and that's where you draft your own team made up of a bunch of different jerseys, and then you compete based on how they play on Sunday. So you want to know all the games. You're not rooting for just the Bears. You're rooting for your jersey on the Bears. And then you flip over to the Miami game because you got that guy, and then you want that. And then they add the points up, and every week, and you put money in before the season. Then you get big payouts in some cases if your team is the best and you're the general manager and all that. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an amazing, though, how easy it is to gamble. Circus Sports, CIRCA, is a new sponsor here of ESPN. And, yeah, they have a casino in Las Vegas. I mean, this is not only that, but then there's tied to a casino in Vegas. It's very nice. So we
can't bet on Illinois college sports.
I mean, you can't by law in Illinois. However, there are plenty of ways to bet, whether you go with the old bookies or you want to go offshore. And there's ways to bet. I mean, you just have to go through some other. I don't know. I've never tried, but I'm sure there is.
Okay.
It used to be in the day you go into the bar and you got your guy.
Right.
And your guy takes your bets.
Yes.
And then the old bookies, which were illegal. But that's how they did it back in the day. Now it's just on your phone, everything here. You can bet during the game. I just don't get that.
Right.
Bears are winning 28-7. And I know a Bears fan who put $10 in Denver. It's the fourth quarter. And he won $100 because Denver came back. It was 10-1. And it's, but in-game is different. So you're with your phone the whole time, looking at some of the prop bets and stuff. Anyway, it's good to have you listening. A few more minutes of this program. It's 8:38. We talked a lot about Jay Lehman last night on The Drive. He's just as candid as can be, and he's very entertaining every Monday after 3, and then repeated in the 5 o'clock hour on Mondays. And then Luke Altmaier, who, if you don't like him as quarterback, he is a 5-star human being. I just really like how he sounds.
Absolutely.
He's a good person and a man of strong faith. And I think he's got skills. And I think we saw last night in the Monday Night Football game what happens if your offensive line can't protect you. And Daniel Jones had that for the Giants last night. The poor guy was sacked 10 times. He was rushed, pressured 26 times. Wouldn't you dream about that?
Yeah, like running. A nightmare. Wake up in cold sweat.
No. I mean, but so you've got to be able to change something to where your guy isn't just scrambling, running around all the time. And our guy, Luke Altmaier, is taking quite a beating. I mean, you just have too many rush. I mean, he's getting, by my clock, he's getting 2 or 3 seconds. And if you gave him 5, he'd pick you apart. I think there's a lot of quarterbacks that pick you apart if they didn't have to be scrambling around all the time.
Yeah.
Changes everything because what happens to your adrenaline? And what happens to your, I mean, how many guys, how do you know if they can even handle that?
Right.
It's a lot.
The clear thinking of the play, yeah.
And then if you can throw running this way or that way, and anyway, it's Devin Witherspoon, our old cornerback.
He took a pick of Daniel Jones back 97 yards for a touchdown.
Unbelievable. I mean, plus he sacked the quarterback twice, so they're blitzing him.
Right.
He's so fast.
Seattle won 24-3 over the New York Giants.
He came in on Daniel Jones once. I'm going, Daniel Jones must be going, because he was running so quickly at him, and he got him twice.
Right.
So our former cornerback last year, a tremendous defensive cornerback, fifth pick in the draft.
I believe so,
30.
and he'll be 23 December 11th. So he's only 22.
Is he even dated? I mean, he wouldn't even. He was so young, and he's playing football all the time. And he came here as a 0. He had a 0 star. Lovey brought him in. He's a walk-on. Wow. Everything is possible in the United States of America.
Absolutely. What a great country.
I mean, what a great
From
story.
Pensacola, Florida.
I mean, the guy
Devin
comes
Witherspoon.
in and he does that, and he stars on a Monday Night Football. Now he's known around the league, and they're going to have to do defensive things, offensive things to block a guy that's blitzing from the corner. Anyway, it's Pete Carroll is the coach of the Seattle Seahawks. He's running up and down the sidelines, chomping his gum when Devin was making the run back. He's sprinting down to the end zone. He's 72.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll's 72.
Yeah.
He's the oldest guy in the NFL. You look at Bill Belichick and you look at Pete Carroll and go, Carroll looks a lot younger. Depends on how it wears on you, but I think Pete Carroll, he lifts weights and chomps on that gum hard, though. All right, back in a moment. It is 8:42.
The Champaign Park District has some terrific fall events to jot down on your day planner. Flannel Fest will be in downtown Champaign and Westside Park from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. October 14th and 15th with music, a mustache contest, and lumberjack show. The Great Pumpkin Hunt has you looking for small painted rocks in area parks throughout the month of October. On Wednesday, October 25th at Marketplace Mall between 5 and 7 p.m., enjoy the free Halloween Fun Fest. Learn more at champaignparks.com.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it is so important to work with experienced agents like Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at Taylor Realty Associates. They have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at Taylor Realty Associates. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com.
Hi, this is Steve from Good Vibes.
And this is Lou Goody from men's basketball.
Hey, Luke, last year we talked about some Sony TVs.
I remember. You had a good-looking 65-inch for under $1,000.
Sony didn't fix what wasn't broke. That same TV is now $8.99. Instead of making new models in the basic series, they dropped the price.
Well, that does sound smart. Most everything costs more this year.
It is smart. Of course, the step-ups are all new and improved. The OLEDs use panels 30% brighter than last year, a processor that remasters content so it just looks real. Sony OLEDs have the best look.
Do they do anything special for sports?
Good question. Fast action can get messy. OLEDs are quicker than regular TVs. Throw in Sony's XR OLED motion, and your crisp passes will not look blurry.
It's important to see the ball.
As in follow the bouncing ball?
What are you talking about?
They used to do these sing-along shows. Never mind, just Google it.
How about Luke Goody back? Hey, the Kansas game be coming up October 29.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kansas and Illinois, the raising money for Maui.
Yeah,
Kansas
actually, in Game Day Spirit has a special like Hawaiian type, print on the shirt and talking about giving back to Hawaii on that game and all that. October 29th is going to creep up on us.
That's already the 3rd.
Right.
Here we go, sports headlines.
All right. Well, we have Illinois and Nebraska at 7 o'clock on Saturday. And they've on Friday night football, Friday. And then on October 14th, it'll be a Maryland game starting at 2:30 in College Park, Maryland against the Terrapins. So that's been trending in the Illini Nation to get our ducks in a row for all of that. Of course, we've got homecoming, and we'll be at Pia's on the 20th, and that should be fun. In fact, Eric Meyer and I were having a conversation about various guests that'll be there. I mean, it's a blast.
Yeah.
After 3 the Friday before, and then I believe early evening, you can get into that homecoming parade, and then the game against Wisconsin.
No, it's a fun thing.
Yeah.
It's where homecoming began at the University of Illinois, my friends.
So let's start things on the uptrend by beating Nebraska this Friday night. Seattle over the New York Giants yesterday in Monday Night Football 24-3, and then we already were talking about Devin Witherspoon and some of the stats on him at the age of 22 coming out of the U of I program. Awesome. And then we've got MLB action tonight. The Texas Rangers, Tampa Bay Rays, Toronto and the Twins, Arizona and Milwaukee, and then Miami and the Phillies when it comes to all of that. So that's essentially sports. I'm Diane Ducey.
All right, so I'm just kind of glancing at the weather. It's obviously gorgeous today and tomorrow. Then maybe a little rain on Thursday. We'll get Greg's forecast here coming up. And then, just FYI, these are the morning temperatures when you walk out of the house beginning Friday. 47, 42, Sunday 38.
Yikes.
Then Monday 41, Tuesday 41, Wednesday 44, Thursday 45. So that's like light jacket weather.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
My brother Gary still has an above ground pool. And I've been enjoying that here at the beginning of the week, and got to get my final swim in probably Wednesday then.
Well, it's what happens.
Yes, things are up and down in October. That's
all right.
for sure.
We'll check Greg's weather one more time in detail coming up.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Short-term market fluctuations can be unnerving for everyone. A proven way to tune out the noise and focus on long-term investment goals is to adhere to a well-constructed investment plan. This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. If you don't have a plan in place, we can help create one designed specifically for you. Call us today for a complimentary consultation. Contact us at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
So the Stever offer is where I give you money and you go to said business, and that's Long Branch Steakhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves a chance to go out and try new food. If you've never been there, it's in Gifford, and Donnie and Hunter and the team really can do it. And you want to go get a steak up there, and I'll give you $50 toward that end. So what you do is you go to gostever.com. Thousands and thousands have joined this because they've figured out that it's real.
Yeah.
I'm really handing money out.
Got to use the deal within 7 days and then provide some feedback about your experience. Long Branch Steakhouse is at 310 South Main Street in beautiful downtown Gifford.
Wednesday through Saturday, 5 to 9.
That's right.
And you might want to get there, closer to the 5 than you would the 7.
Yeah.
Be people
kind of early birdish
coming
style.
in. Yep. All right. Here's your weather meteorologist Greg Solier.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana is Saturday and a summer-like day's worth of weather ahead for the day today. Again, high temperatures with a mainly sunny sky to about 88. A bit of a southeast to south wind. Clouds will increase tonight. A mild October night, low down to 64. Tomorrow, partly sunny, continued warm and increasing south wind, high to about 85 degrees. It'll be an approaching cold front tomorrow night with a couple of showers breaking out, maybe a thunderstorm. Best chances after midnight, low down to 66. And a much cooler Thursday, some occasional shower activity, maybe a rumble of thunder, the high to about 73. Cooler still with a few afternoon sprinkles on Friday, partly sunny at 64. And it's an autumn feel for the upcoming weekend. 58 for the high on Saturday, 59 on Sunday. Sunday to partly cloudy skies. Nights will be down into the upper 30s to lower 40s. We'll pull back up into the 60s and a dry weather pattern for Monday and Tuesday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Hi, this is Kirk Lehman with Aftershock Decals and Design. And right now we are looking for an honest, hardworking individual that wants a career with Aftershock Decals and Design. If you have any kind of experience wrapping vehicles, tinting windows, we want you.
You can't touch this.
No, not that kind of wrapper.
Can't touch this.
Please go to our website at aftershockdd.com, click on the Jobs tab, and send in your resume. We want you. aftershockdd.com.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you'd do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
As the summer temperatures rise, make sure your energy bills stay low. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing to upgrade to a high-efficiency Lennox air conditioner. Dogtown offers financing, including 0% no interest for qualifying customers. And if you have rooms in your house that don't seem to stay cool, call and ask about the great rebates on the Daikin Ductless Mini Splits. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Okay, with all that's going on in our lives, we got to figure out Friday's schedule with tailgating and things like that, and if you're going to get off work early and all these other things.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're working Friday.
Yes, we are.
So, and so is everybody else. And then, there's just a little bit of step back from, that because we're losing.
That's right.
So hopefully we'll get back on track. And we're like a 7.5 point favorite over Nebraska.
Right.
So it's one at home you think you might get. I think we will. And then if we do that, I'll feel a little bit better. Then you got a really tough assignment at Maryland because they're real good.
Yeah.
They're undefeated. They got to go to Columbus this weekend.
Uh-huh.
So maybe that'll take a lot out of them. Mike Loxley is the head coach over there. He was here for years.
Yeah.
With Ron Zook, I took him to help him get his driver's test.
Okay.
If you ask Mike Loxley about Stevie Jay taking him to the driver's license facility, he'd probably laugh because he was nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Loxley was really nervous because he hadn't taken a test in a while.
Oh, boy.
And he used my car to take his test.
Okay, so he's not real familiar with it, but he need to get that done.
Well, he didn't even know where to put his hands. He said, is it 10 and 2?
10 and 2.
Is it 10 and 2?
That's always a good
And
bet.
he did that, and he drove 4 miles an hour and got his license and moved on to his big old SUV he came in. So it was funny. He's a guy I like Mike, and his son Kai used to be at our house for sleepovers a lot. So he'd come to pick him up, and Kai was a good athlete, played quarterback in college and stuff, and very talented kid. Good family.
So, but Mike Rule is the main head coach for Nebraska?
Yeah, he came from Carolina. Mm-hmm. He was a Carolina Panthers NFL coach, and that didn't work out. Pete Carroll might be the only guy that's ever been so successful at both college and pro, even though they cheated at USC and gave Reggie Bush and his family a house. Reggie Bush got a house. Anyway, Pete Carroll at USC, Pete Carroll at Seattle. He won a national championship, I believe, at USC, and he won a Super Bowl at Seattle. So is there any other coach has ever been that good at college and pro? And I don't think so. Nick Saban, failure. Couldn't do Miami. Dolphins, that didn't work out. It's just hard.
They're giving away 20,000 orange rally towels courtesy of Ag Game sponsors. Friday Night Lights. Fans will be encouraged to turn on their phone flashlights to kick off and participate in the stadium-wide light show. We're celebrating food and ag with the College of Aces on this one. So there'll be all kinds of things in Grange Grove ahead of the game, including a petting zoo. Love the calf, horse, goats, chickens, and piglets that we'll see in a mini petting zoo for Illini fans.
Where will that be, I wonder?
Somewhere in Grange Grove.
A petting zoo.
And usually, if you're going in, to the right is the big stage with the band and all that. So probably to the left or something. And of course, we're always encouraged to get in 90 minutes before to get the hot dogs and non-alcoholic beverages and domestic beers and Trulies for just $3. So there's that going on. And, of course, that freaky fast 77-yard dash is between the third and fourth quarter, which I love to see a contender go up against our Red Grange.
Well, I frankly, I don't want to see Red lose.
Well, he hasn't yet.
Well, I don't want him to, but that's the kind of promotion you want to get involved. Jimmy John's giving away Jimmy John's for a year, and I don't think they're going to give it away.
That's right.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. What a good promotion for Jimmy John's.
Absolutely.
All right, time to say goodnight. We'll be back tomorrow. The boys this afternoon on the drive from 3 to 5. And 3 o'clock hour repeated in 5 o'clock hour. Mm-hmm. All right, we'll catch up in the morning.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Again, go Steve if you want free steak. I'm giving out $50 bills to the Long Branch Steakhouse. Just go to gostever.com. Join if you're not a member, or just click the button and you might get an email tonight after 8 if you're one of the winners. Then go use that in the next 7 to 10 days up in Gifford. All right, that's Diane. I'm Stevie J. Thank you for listening. Have a great Tuesday.
These days, it seems like bank names are changing faster than a forecast in February. But at Iroquois Federal, we're still the same community bank we've always been. For more than 135 years, we've built relationships by helping build the things that matter, whether it's a business, a back porch, or the building blocks of a better life. If you're looking for a bank that's here for the long haul, swing by today and see for yourself why different rules. Iroquois Federal, still friendly, still local, still here.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you can save an average of $889. The Brian Hansen State Farm Agency is ready to help you combine home and auto and save in Champaign-Urbana. Call 217-344-1900 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual household savings based on 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less. By now, you've all heard the expression, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. But who are they? They, the PDR staff, understand that a name is only as good as the people that represent it. The PDR staff has more than 335 years of combined automotive experience, several employees now on staff for more than 25 years. PDR, more than just a name. Family owned and operated, now celebrating over 50 years in business.
Hi, this is Kirk Lehman with Aftershock Decals and Design. And right now we are looking for an honest, hardworking individual that wants a career with Aftershock Decals and Design. If you have any kind of experience wrapping vehicles, tinting windows, we want you.
You can't touch this.
No, not that kind of wrapper.
Can't touch this.
Please go to our website at aftershockdd.com, click on the Jobs tab, and send in your resume. We want you. aftershockdd.com.
As the summer temperatures rise, make sure your energy bills stay low. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing to upgrade to a high-efficiency Lennox air conditioner. Dogtown offers financing, including 0% no interest for qualifying customers. And if you have rooms in your house that don't seem to stay cool, call and ask about the great rebates on the Daikin ductless mini splits. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.